Prem, you can start the session, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. I am honored to introduce our speaker expert who is known for his credential and expertise in accreditation process. Dr. S. Rajarajan is a dynamic, passionate teacher and eminent research person with an experience for more than 27 years, committed in developing employable engineers in their core domain. He is much interested in coping up with the technological changes happening around the world. His pedagogical techniques always focus to correlate the theory with the real-time applications. He always insists on outcome-based education to create skillful and deployable engineers. Out of his experience, he learned OBE and understood the entire process of accreditation, NBA and both NBA and NAC. And he achieved a successful model for all criteria-based numerical workouts to attain the programmable outcomes and programmable educational objectives. He can develop a quite lot of mathematical model for all criteria. Even though he started his career in chalk and talk pedagogy, he is capable of designing, developing and delivering online courses using the world's most popular learning management system model. He strongly believes the online content delivery is better and efficient to attract the current digital generation learners. He has explored the many effective ways to engage the students using model without any compromise in their learning tempo. He carved out a template course plan to engage the students to cover more than 80% of the syllabus. The online test engine is also customized for assessing the students, and the questions are randomly picked from the question bank in such a way to fulfill the Bloom's taxonomy creates level of thinking. He is good in analyzing the computer networks using protocol analyzer Wireshark. This was started as a hobby for his course Computer Networks teachings and now reached the intermediate level. Currently, he is involved in analyzing the security and algorithms of IoT devices using Wireshark analyzer. In order to prove his research in nano satellites, now he supervises a recurring project by launching a near space launch vehicles, NSLV, to test their CanSat, known as SIT SHAT. Phase 1 has been completed successfully and phase 2 is on alive to launch a balloon satellite to study the environmental conditions in the stratosphere. He is always ready to take up students training, executive training, teachers training in their online or in classroom mode on accreditation, model, LMS, balloon satellite and protocol network analyzer. We welcome you, sir. Please take on the session, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm audible, sir. Okay. Good afternoon to all. I am really privileged to have the session like this. Actually, I have prepared a presentation, not many number of slides. Normally, my speech is actually contentful, but not my slides. But due to the power cut, I cannot share the PPT right now. I am connecting and conducting this session through my mobile phone only. So sorry for that. Due to some unavoidable circumstances, the power cut, due to this power cut, I am not able to share the screen. Anyway, this is not, I am not depending on my slides because I am always depending on my experience. So I want to share the things, whatever I have prepared without the PPT. Sorry for that. Okay, I can start the session. Good afternoon to all. I want to congratulate the management of Velamal Institute of Technology and the organizers, principal, and all the people, those who are working in this particular a short-term program, training program, to cater many different kind of pedagogical sessions based on for the latest version of students. So I can start my session straight away. I thank one and all again, and to join this particular session after your lunch. This session is actually concentrating on mainly on industrial visits, internship, and industry-based laboratories. In the sense, I want to really insist on the industrial visit and the industrial-oriented all the activities related with accreditation. I want to correlate the accreditation process, how good the industrial visit will satisfy our accreditation process, both in NBA and NAC. I hope many of you are from the engineering colleges, that too accredited or unaccredited engineering colleges. This session will be definitely useful for both. Even though you got the accreditation, NBA accreditation for your program, for longer years back, even though this session will be definitely a different session for you in terms of industrial visit, how good or how well we can fill the gap in the curriculum by using the industrial visit internship, and how can we organize the industrial visits, as well as how can we do the activities using our IIC in the sense Industrial Institute, Council, Club, many different names are there, but the functions are same. I can easily one by one I can sort it out. Number one, when we say the industrial visit, the term is very popular to all the engineering teachers, normally engineering student as well the engineering teachers. We will normally there is some sort of a thumb rule per semester industrial visit, or many colleges are following per year one industrial visit. Namesake, more or less, I have seen many number of colleges in and around Tamil Nadu, as well as some other states like Andhra and Kerala also. I have seen many places in many colleges they are arranging the industrial visit for Nam Kevas. Simply namesake, they are arranging the industrial visit. Actually, the purpose of industrial visit is entirely interesting, and it will fulfill a lot of your requirements in our accreditation process. First, try to understand this. Basically, the industrial visits, the main objective of the industrial visit is we have to give the insight of industrial environment to our student, as well as sometimes to our staff members also. We should really know, we means me as a staff or that engineering teacher, and along with my students, we should understand what is really happening in an industry. It may be a core industry, or it may be in any other engineering industry, whatever it is. Nowadays, the engineering discipline is not depending on its own curriculum. For example, mechanical engineer should know about the IoT. Without IoT, he cannot survive, because nowadays all the industrial processes are depending on IoT. So now this is the latest paradigm. Engineering is a common term. It's not depending on the discipline. All the disciplines are involved in interdisciplinary domain is the engineering. So if this is the condition, if this is the fact, how can you differentiate this is ECE, this is civil, this is mechanical, this is CSE, this is IT. All these different domains or the disciplines are coming into a single field named as or termed as engineering or technology. If you take in that sense, how can you arrange the industrial visit for our students? This is what the entire session concept, and how the industrial visit can give some impact in our accreditation project, accreditation process. Thing is, you believe me or not, if you are really arranging good industrial visits, we can do a lot. By my experience, or from my experience, I am telling, the industrial visit will definitely change the attitude of the student in different way. Rather than our book and pen pedagogy, chalk and talk pedagogy. This particular session will be giving focus on this industrial visit and internship. I can say one thing now. Simply I can talk. How many number of, you ask yourself, how many number of colleges are really arranging the industrial visits to the students, those who are really interested in that domain? For example, we can arrange the industrial visit to Neyveli Lignite Corporation, NLC. In NLC, normally they will be going for a longer distance. Okay, it is joyful, funful, that is okay. But what we are going to learn from this industrial visit? Only the conveyor belt and the mines they will be showing, how the coal taken from the mines are getting transferred to the field. We can visualize all these things, not more than this. How good or how well this particular industrial visit help the computer science and engineering students. The computer science engineering as well as the information technology students also visiting the industry of the NLC. Nothing wrong in that. I don't say this is wrong. How can you visit the NLC? This is not a wrong. But the problem is the purpose will not be solved. For example, the main objective of this industrial visit or internship is very simple. We have to give the insight of the industry to the students as well as our new staff members, the young dynamic staff members. Second point, we need to bridge the gap in our curriculum. You may be a staff member from a autonomous college or an affiliated college. In your subject, in your syllabi, do you think the technologies, whatever in the practice right now, is fully covered in our syllabus? No, that is not true. If you say, yes, sir, we have covered everything, you are telling lie. This is what the point. So this is the gap. This is the gap. If you are an affiliated college with an university, you cannot do anything with that curriculum. We have to simply write, or we have to give the feedback about the curriculum to the controller of examination or anybody else, those who are really looking after this syllabus framing in our university. Nothing else we can do there with that. But we can support wherever we are lagging. We can support our students, especially the final year, third year and final year students, by giving very good industrial visits, very good internship, or any other laboratories collaborated with industries. Only these three are possible. Actually, these three activities are the functions of your industrial institute interaction cell or IIIC. You can name in any sense. There must be some cell must be in your college. So the impact is, if you talk very clearly, the main impact of the industrial visit is the attitude change to our faculty as well as the students, number one. And other than this record purpose, we cannot say to the accreditation committee that the attitude has been changed for our students, the attitude has been changed for our staff members like this. If you talk, they will not accept this. They need some documents. They want the evidential documents to show this is the impact of our industrial visits arranged, whatever we have arranged in our college to our student community. This is what they want. How can you do this? This is the basic question right now. How can you do this? So first of all, I want to say, how can you classify the students? For example, if you are belonging to ECE department, you find out the interest of the students. Really, there may be some 60 number of students in your class. Stream wise, you classify your entire domain. For example, if it is a mechanical engineering department, you stream wise changes. He is interested in CAD. He is interested in SIM. He is interested in thermal. He is interested in some other. I don't know much about this, finite element analysis, something like this. So find out the streams of your students. In a particular department, you classify the students based on their interest in your own curriculum. Curriculum in the sense, if he is belonging to EC department, he is much interested in antenna, he is much interested in communication engineering, he is much interested in VLSI design, he is interested, very good, he is much interested in some other domain. So find out the streams, classify. You should have some special interest group in your department itself. That one I want to insist now. Normally, they will be asking the accreditation committee if they are really good, they are really tough enough in the field. They will be asking how many number of SIGs you have, special interest group in your department. Say 6 number of groups in EC department, special interest group. One is good in RF, one is good in VLSI design, another one is good in something else like this, electromagnetic, something like this. Some 6 number of groups. For example, I am talking about 6 number of groups. 6 number of groups. We have specialized staff members in those groups. We have the interested student in this group. You can classify right from your second year. Please don't insist any student to visit not interested. Suppose he is willing to, say for example, whenever he get into the institute itself, he is telling, I want to do my MS in abroad. This is what the ambition of the student. Without knowing the ambition of the student, we cannot guide them in proper way. Simply getting a degree is not a joke, not a thing here. We have to achieve a lot other than this degree. Getting a degree is very easy. The card is same for all. But the problem is how good you have studied, how much knowledge you have earned from this degree. This is what very important. So, if he is really interested in MS, doing abroad, so for example, Canada or USA, you cannot do anything with that. With that attitude, those students cannot be directed into the mainstream. They will be concentrating on the higher studies. You find out the interest. Second, some other students will maybe saying like, I want to do my UPSC examination. I mean, IAS officer. I want to become an IAS officer. I want to get into the Indian government service, something like railway service or any other services. If they are really interested in those other group, the first one is, for example, higher studies. Second group is a group of students may be interested in getting a job in government, maybe Navaratna company or Magaratna company. With those students, we have to the main possibility is getting the job or going to the higher studies in India. These 2 years compromised by GATE. You have to tune up those students only in getting the training in GATE. Without the GATE valid score, they cannot do anything with that ambition. They cannot do anything with that. From the third year itself, or right from the second year itself, they have to prepare for their civil service examinations. In NAC and MBA, we are asking about how many number of students how many number of your college students are getting selected in valid score in GATE, getting selected in IAS, getting selected in IAS, IPS, IFS, whatnot, all the civil services. We are classifying all these roles are getting some points or credits to the institute. We cannot simply omit those students also. If you remove these 2 groups, remaining all, you find out somebody may be good, they may be concentrating, I want to get a job in core company, sir. What is the meaning of core company now? The student is admitted in ECE. He is telling, I want to get the job in the core company. If you are really doing your placement in our colleges, what we are doing is we are giving the placement in TCS or CTS. What is the right thing you have done for your student? Are you really guiding the students in the right way? No, that is not the right way. He is interested in communication engineering. He want to do something with that with the ISRO. So the student is the student willing is a different way. I mean, he is interested in getting a job in ISRO. You are tuning your student, coding the things in Java and C++ to get a job in CTS and some other service-oriented IT firms. How good you are doing to your students? That is not right. Then we have to motivate those students towards their goal. Some may be interested in VLSI design. For VLSI students, if you are if you are arranging a seminar towards the higher studies, what is the benefit of that? To the particular group of students, they will be simply crying. For namesake, they will be sitting in the classroom, nothing else. If you ask the feedback from that, they will not give a correct feedback. They will give some humbuck. From using that kind of survey or using that kind of what we call feedback, we cannot do anything. We cannot attain any of your PO, any of your CO. Nothing is possible. I hope you can understand now. This is the scenario. So first of all, before arranging any IV or before getting into any such kind of activities related with the students, find out their interest. This is my first point. If he is good or he is ready to take up the examination like GMAT or TOEFL, IELTS, like this, you give the training to those students getting a seat in abroad higher studies. If some other group is interested in writing the PGs, GATE examination to get a PG in Indian IITs or NITs, or some other students may be interested in getting a job in the Maharatna and Navaratna companies like ISRO, BHEL, BEL, Indian Railways, these kind of, you motivate them, you guide them in proper way, give the training in those kind. Please don't put those students in how to write coding in C or C++ to get the job in CTS or TCS. That is not right. So classify your students. If now you can get 6 number of groups in the students according to the according to their interest, we can have 6 number of group. We can have 6 number of, 7 number of, 8 number of groups among the students. This group of students is important. Without their interest, you cannot feed anything into them. That is damn sure. Right now, the students are digital era students. They will not obey you. They may act like obeying. They will not, definitely, they will not abide by your rules or restrictions, whatever you give. So, if you are, now the groups are segregated. Now I come to the point, making an industrial visit. Is a telecommunication. You want to be a scientist in ISRO, you at least arrange the industrial visit to SHAR, Sriharikota. In Sriharikota, nothing you can see. Only the launch pad is there. Nothing else is there. All remaining parts are, all remaining technical things are done in Bangalore. So first phase, in the second year itself, going to SHAR with those kind of students, those who are interested in the communication engineering, those who are really interested in RF, those who are really interested in electromagnetics, those who are really interested in communication engineering, wireless networks. So those kind of domains must be addressed. We have to give the feed to the students for their thirsty, hungry. If you force anything else, they will vomit. They will not accept. So this is the condition now. So next stage, getting an industrial visit to somebody else. I mean, someplace else. I mean, ISRO main campus, Bangalore. Getting the industrial visit is really a tough task in ISRO, Bangalore. If you get the permission, then only this group of students. Don't go with 60 number of students. Don't go with some 50 number of students. Go with some 12 to 15 number of students into the industry. Only then, prior to your visit, you must know, the student as well as the staff member should know what are the things going on in this place. What is the product of this particular industry? What is the share for this particular? We are not going to get any job there. Even then, we should know anything, everything about that particular industry. That is very much essential to motivate your students. Once they are getting into the field, if they are getting into the industry, they will automatically, since they are really wanted, since they are really interested in that particular domain, definitely they will not waste their time in the industry. They will be trying to learn something from the industrial visit. This is first point. Only the interested students must be asked to visit the industry. So for a particular class, if you provide a single industrial visit, that is not sufficient. I can say one thing, for the entire class, we cannot have a single industrial visit because all the 6 groups are there. We have to arrange 6 different number of, based on their interest, with 6 different number of visits we have to arrange. Only then we can cater the needs of the student. Giving the feed to the student is different. Giving the interested feed to the student is different. which one will be getting absorbed. You can understand now, right? Once you complete, whenever you do this, whenever you complete this industrial visit, you have to do lot of things. Especially, I come to this accreditation part right now. In accreditation, we have in engineering in India, we have 12 number of program outcomes. These program outcomes are very common to all the engineering branches, not only for particular department. So all the engineering branches will have 12 number of program outcomes. All of you know this. If you, whenever you fill the form, COPO mapping, all of you have done, experienced, you may have struggled, everything may have happened. Now come to the point. First 5 points of PO, first 5 POs are addressing the major engineering portion. Everywhere we can put 2, 3, 1, something like these numbers. Where we will be struggling, right from 7th we will be struggling to put the numbers. We cannot able to correlate the content of our subject to the PO. The thing is ethics. How ethics is related? What we are doing now is professional ethics is a subject in our curriculum. So only for the professional ethics we are putting 3. Remaining on, is there no ethics while conducting the class or teaching the subject in communication engineering? Are you following the ethics or you are not following the ethics? Then whatever is the point about ethics? What about the last one, lifelong learning? 12th one, PO 12, lifelong learning. How good they are doing the things. How can we inculcate the culture of lifelong learning in your students? This is what they want. So if you say the PO wise, 5 POs we can easily attain as a whole. In the criteria 3 I am talking in the NBA, all 5 criteria, the first 5 criteria, first 5 7 criteria we are really struggling. The industrial visits are really a boon to the staff members to fulfill this gap. Try to understand. 6, PO 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All these can be easily fulfilled by using the industrial visit, internship, and any other concept. Concept in the sense, I can tell you one concept. Today's session itself, the concept is known as living lab concept. So like this, we have to have some tools. This is what really they are expecting. The accreditation people, the visiting committee is expecting how good you are in arranging the useful, fruitful industrial visit and internship. Whenever you ask the internship, the students are ready to give the certificates known as implant training. Many companies are available. We cannot say these are all companies. Small startups, project selling companies like Vasant & Co, Vivek & Co. Many different places in and around Chennai, we have lot of project centers. They are simply selling the projects. Many number of colleges, definitely, I am not a new person telling the truth. Really, you have experienced. How many number of you, your students are really doing in their own? How many of the staff members are really guiding it in their own? Many number of staff purchase the projects from the project centers, including the project report, including the PPT, whatever we want to show in the presentation during the Viva examination. This is what the truth. So how can you do all these things? How can you integrate? How can you, what is the difference? Very basic question I want to ask. What is the difference, main difference between internship and implant training? This is what I want to ask. Your students, if you ask the implant training, many different students are coming with the certificate, 7 days implant training at Pantech, 7 days implant training at some other companies. These are all not companies. If you go and visit the company, there will be maximum of 10 members. Not more than this 10. Then what is the thing they will learn from there? Your students. So this is not the industrial visit. This is not the internship. Implant training is, they will use certain syllabus like that. I mean, the study material or training module will be there. The module will be completed within a week or 5 days. They will be giving the certificate by paying the amount of 5,000 or 6,000. This is so-called implant training. By this, again, students will not learn anything new. Or the quantum of learning is very much lesser versus the amount whatever they have paid. So what we require is internship. Internship is entirely different. Internship is giving the full exposure of industry. There is no separate module in the industry for internship. They'll be getting into the industry to see, learn in the actual atmosphere of the industry. Nothing else. Say, for example, in Ashok Leyland, I have got internship for 1 month. Internship cannot be given within a week or 5 days. In Ashok Leyland, I want to get an internship for 1 month or 2 months. If you get into, if your students are getting into Ashok Leyland, they will not have any special module for these kind of students to get the internship. The regular activities will be going on. From the activities, under the guidance of some worker, you have to learn the things whatever they are doing. 5-6 days you will be learning. Then you will be starting doing. They will be assigning some duties to you. You will be doing something. From the understanding, you can say from by doing, learning by doing. Definitely this is helpful to you. So you can understand lot of things only by doing. But internal, the implant training is not like that. Implant training is, again, it is a book and pen pedagogy. They will not show much of your, again, they'll be giving you, if you go to any those kind of project centers, they'll be giving you Arduino board or Raspberry Pi, something like that. They'll be trying to give or teaching, they'll be trying to teach you again C++ coding, KLC compiler, class compiler. Only this much they will be trying to again and again posting to the student. But you have the embedded system paper in our BE curriculum. In the BE curriculum itself, we have the same syllabus of Arduino, Raspberry Pi, everything. Then what is the extra they will get from the implant training? Nothing. So internship is different and your implant training is different. Implant training is again a kind of commercial product of small companies. I cannot say it even companies, small startups, whereas really good startups are there to teach the students what it is exactly. In IIT Madras Research Park, many companies are providing you the internships, but we have to leave the students for 1 month. How many number of institutes are nowadays ready to give 1 month internship, 1 month OD to the students? Nobody. Then how can we expect? That is why my insist here is, please try to allot some credits in your course itself. This is possible for autonomous institutes. You can give some credits to the internship. For example, 15 days, if you go at a stage to any industry as the internship, get the certificate, give the report to the committee, which is formulated by the HOD within the department. You give the presentation. These are all the things I have learned in these 15 days from that particular industry. Submit the report. Based on this report, they will be giving you 1 credit. For 15 days, 1 credit. This is right. Totally to complete the degree. Even for the current final years, Anna University is asking minimum 45 days of internship is compulsory to get the degree. Even though you have 9.2 CGPA, they will not give the degree now. You should give the internship certificate, not implant training certificate. Implant training is different. Internship is different. You please allow your student to get the right internship. You please guide the students. You find the place where they can do the internship. Based on their internship, he is interested in what we call RF and microwave. He may be getting the chance of doing in Ashok Leyland. How this will be matching? So in Tamil there is a proverb. படிக்கிறது ராமாயணம் இடிக்கிறது பெருமாள் கோயில்னு ஒரு proverb இருக்கு. So we cannot do with that. So this is what we exactly require. We need to allot some credits for our internship also. And this is what this is how we go to. Then after completing your visit or completing the internship, student has to submit a report on industrial visit or the internship, whatever they went. They have to submit the report. In this report, they have to narrate the things. This is what the company, we went there, and all the minutes, whatever the communications, whatever the happenings they had there in the industry, they have to list out all these things in this report. Then main point is the staff members, those who are going along with the students to the industrial visit, they have to give the feedback and get the feedback immediately after the industrial visit. Don't wait 1 or 2 days. Tomorrow we can collect the feedback, something like that. Nowadays, everybody is using Google Form, digital forms. So in the Google itself, you prepare your form, and along with this form, all the students are having the mobile phones better than us. So go with the Google Forms, get into the industry, have your industrial visit joyfully, understand and acquire the knowledge. Then whenever you come to the college, you disseminate this particular feedback form to the students digitally. They have to fill in the feedback form. They must read all the POs. Wherever you are lagging, you can understand. We are going to visit the BSNL Meenambakam. BSNL Meenambakam, this is the switching center. How the electronic switching is happening. If you give I understood the mathematical expressions of, if you give this first or second PO in the feedback form, that is not right. You have to give the lower part, 6, 7, 8, 9, lifelong learning till 12th. You have to you mention these POs and how the industrial visit will improve you give the rubrics. Excellent, strong, agree, strongly agree, something like that. You use some rubrics and get the details, get the feedback from all the industrial participants, not participants, those who are visiting the industry, the students, those who are visited the industry. From them, you have to collect this kind of, immediately it will come to your Excel sheet when you post a form. Then analyze the form. This form will give the real feedback of your industrial visit. This is how we are conducting. We see previously we were also conducting like the usual manner, but we didn't get any outcome from that particular industrial visit. If you ask them, nothing will be there. We went there, we shouting in between, we mixed, mingle with other students also. This is what normally they will be saying. But out of this, what is the gain? Knowledge gain, nothing. But nowadays, if you change the group, if you classify the students, then you send the students, only 12 number of students or 15 number of students to the industry, those who are really interested in that particular industry or industrial domain, then they will get the idea. While posting the feedback, they will give the right feedback. This is how you have to fill up the gap in the curriculum. The POs you should mention in the feedback form. For each and every PO, you have to ask the question. This is in this industrial visit, this particular PO has been satisfied. I agree, strongly agree, fair, no, poor, something like that. You give some rubrics. Based on the rubrics, you analyze your Excel sheet, response sheet. Then it will be good. This response will give some impact in your pedagogy.